What's up, YouTube? We are back once again, man.
Yo.
7879, the dynamic duo that you know. Back in the building, baby. Look who we got, man. You see this shit?
What's up?
Yeah, right?
What's up?
Yeah, man. We out here. We trying some new stuff out on the channel, man, just to kind of spice it up.
Always,
man.
right.
You gotta innovate. You gotta evolve. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Trying some new stuff. But yo, today we're gonna talk about it, man. We got we got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it, right? I mean,
what are we talking about?
You got to talk about that movie, man. That Mortal Kombat movie, man. We got to talk about it. You know?
Oh, not Godzilla versus Kong?
Yeah, not this video. Not this
All right, cool.
Because I think you already covered that. You already covered that. Phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mortal Kombat it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Mortal Kombat.
As y'all well know, we were really excited about this movie.
Absolutely
Excited about it. You know, we had the trailer. The trailer did like over 25,000 views. You know what I mean? So
did it?
Yeah. Well, it's like 24 and some change. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it did really well.
Okay.
Did really well.
You.
So not only did the people that subscribed to us see that we were how excited we were. A lot of other people saw it as well. So
yeah.
But here we are. Movie came out. I got up at, I don't even think I went to sleep that night, to be honest with you. I got home from work at like 2:00. I watched
AM.
Yeah.
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, right.
I sat up and I waited and watched. First, I watched Invincible because that episode had popped up. Crazy episode, by the way. Crazy episode. Right. Then second, I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Of course.
Also dope.
Great
Crazy
TV.
Dope.
Great TV. Dope. Great television.
Absolutely.
Man.
And I'm like, all right, let's get to it. You know what I mean?
I'm
like, all right, man. I got Invincible. That shit was dope. Fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier. That shit was crazy. Mm-hmm. And it should lead right into this Mortal Kombat movie, which should just blow my wig back, and I should just like not even be able to function after watching this, right?
Yeah. And
here's why I pass it off to you.
Okay, you gonna pass it off to me. Okay, so I think it's important to say that, and I think most people that know about Mortal Kombat would agree that at this point, Mortal Kombat is a part of American culture.
Absolutely.
It just is. It just is. It is an extremely popular, successful fighting game. It is responsible largely in part for why video games are rated due to the violence and the gore. It's one of the first games that did a amazing job at digitizing, actual people and putting them in a video game. So it is just transcendent greatness.
Right.
You know what I mean? In American culture.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I'm glad that they made the movie. This movie had to happen. An R-rated Mortal Kombat movie is what we needed for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like we've needed this movie for 20 years. So I'm glad that the movie was done. I'm gonna just say right off the gate, like I enjoyed the movie. I thought the movie was okay, but I think I personally set the bar way too high based off of that trailer.
Way too high. Yeah.
And it was just based off of the trailer.
Yeah. It was a phenomenal trailer. Like phenomenal trailer. But it just sucks that what was in the trailer is basically the best parts of the movie. Like it's not even the best parts, but that's it. Like everything that's in that trailer is basically the movie.
Damn near 100%. I feel like there was one moment in that in the movie that I didn't see. You know what I mean? Like one part in the movie that I did not see in the trailer. That's what I felt like. And it was a particular fatality that involved a hat.
Yeah.
I think that was the only thing.
Hold on, before we go forward, because we didn't talk about this. Are we doing spoilers or we're just kind of staying away from that?
Everybody got HBO Max.
I feel the same.
You've seen it?
I feel the exact same way.
You've seen it?
So, spoiler warning.
Yeah.
This is your spoiler warning. We're going to get into it during the course of this review. All right?
Absolutely.
So you got
HBO Max, or your cousin got it, or Your people's got it.
Somebody.
So you got it.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. 100% agree. But I feel like if your trailer at some point shows every scene in the movie or every locale in the movie, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? There's to be some stuff that's not in the trailer that you're just like, when you see it, you're like, oh shit, this is a whole new part that my eyes have not seen yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's all based on like lighting. It's all based on the background, all that stuff. Like you feel like you're in that scene from the trailer throughout the whole movie. You know what I'm saying? So that's a problem. But we're going to get into it a little further. I kind of, like I said, kind of set up some pros and cons because I don't want to just go straight negative.
Got some bullet points for us?
Huh?
So you got some bullet points for us? Yeah.
A little something I just threw together. You know what I mean? Just so that we can kind of touch on some of the things that I know, the guys in the Discord wanted to talk about, especially Van Man. Also give props where props are due and not get lost in the negativity. You know what I mean? Because that's really easy to do. We can start talking about it and just it sound like we're bashing it. So I kind of wanted to separate it. So we're going to start with my first pro, and this is the one that Vamp Man said, is budget versus results, right? So the movie, and I didn't even notice until I did a little research, the movie had a budget of $55 million, right? With a $55 million budget, I think that movie looks good. Like, I think the CG is done well, right? It does kind of falter at times. It's not perfect, but for a $55 million budget, I think it's pretty good. You know what I mean?
I agree. So I agree. The movie looks good. The settings, the atmosphere of the movie looks good.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
For the most part.
Right. Now, it's rather limited how many settings we have, but we'll get into that. we'll get into that. But so that was the first one. The second one that I have is Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I feel like Sub-Zero and Scorpion were done well in comparison to past iterations, because you got to think Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, they were just
don't think Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That's not cool.
Here's the thing, right? So everybody's kind of giving this movie a pass because of Annihilation, because of how bad Annihilation is. Everybody's like, well, it's not Annihilation. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's fair. I think that Annihilation was just that bad to where you should compare any movie to it. It's just really that bad. And we shouldn't hold it to that kind of standard, but people do it all the time. You know what I mean?
That was a horrible movie, man. Not even just a bad Mortal Kombat movie, a bad iteration of Mortal Kombat. It was just a bad movie.
That was a B movie. Did that come out? That came out in the theater. That trash came out in the theater and was like a straight to DVD B movie, like horrible. You know what I mean? But
it should still be issuing out refunds for that shit.
I don't think that this movie is B movie level, just based on what they were able to do with the budget that they were given. But yeah, so not like Annihilation. And Sub-Zero was like, Sub-Zero being number one, Sub-Zero was just like straight fucking Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger. Like, he was like straight up horror villain. Like,
he was. He was. That was dope though.
Yeah,
that was dope. Sub-Zero being a scary villain was, that was probably the complete highlight of the film.
Yeah,
it was definitely Sub-Zero.
Yes, agree 100%.
And you know what? And it had to be because of, and I think this is a pro and con. Sub-Zero had to be the highlight of the film because of the star power of Joe Taslim.
Yes.
Right. But his star power comes from the incredible fights that he's done in movies.
Yes.
And it kind of makes sense for what you say. If that movie had a $55 million budget, then they probably couldn't afford the fight team, the stunt coordinator from, who Joe deals with.
Well, what do you do in that situation? Do give him a lot of say? You know what I mean? Like, do you go to a professional that's been doing this and has worked with, you know, the talent that was the guy that was the fight coordinator from the Raid movies? Like, do you like kind of?
Well, my thing is, if you can't afford those guys, then just don't say that you're going to have the best fight scenes in a movie. Just don't say that. And my expectation is not to that point, because that's what I thought when they had him in the movie.
Right.
I'm like, oh, this is going to be like the Raid.
Yeah.
The fights are going to be like the Raid. And then you say like, yo, there's going to be the best fight scenes in the movie. I'm like, oh, I don't need to see nothing else. Say no more.
Straight gas.
I'm
like
all
straight,
in. I know what this guy's capable of.
Like straight,
you know what I'm saying? And I think it's people with, and I mean, I'm terribly, you know what I mean, apologetic right now that my man's name is slipping my tongue, but y'all know who we talking about. That dude's insane. So I'm like, if they could have afforded that fight team, my man from the Raid would have been in this movie.
Yeah.
He would have been in this movie, and he probably would have been Scorpion. And they would have had a lot more screen time together. It would have been amazing. But they probably would have needed $250 million to bag that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just don't put it out there like that. Don't say that it's going to be the best fight scenes that you've ever seen and all that stuff. Don't tell us that you had to slow down the camera because of how great this guy is and everything. We know how great he is, but just don't put that out there.
Yeah, I was watching it again this morning because I just wanted to see like his fighting and why you feel like you would need to slow him down because this shit was just that technical or he was moving that fast. And I was like,
when?
Not even his fight with Scorpion at the beginning. It wasn't like that. You know what I mean?
It was damn near a street fight.
Right.
It was a street brawl.
Right.
So I'm like, unless they got a director's cut that's coming out, you know what I'm saying? That the parts that they thought he was too fast, if they just cut out the movie and if they just cut it out.
That job would need like 45 minutes of straight fighting.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I will watch it, man. That's the biggest thing for me, man. I think I just set the expectations too high. I'm glad they made the movie. I watched it. It was cool. And I was just thinking about stuff that I said, man. Was I streaming? I think I was. Yeah, last time I streamed Mortal Kombat X. And, you know, we're like, oh, you know, it's just a couple of days. And I'm just like so excited. I'm like, from what we've seen, and I said this on the stream, I said, from what we've seen, I just can't see me just like not liking this movie. There's no way.
Right.
And like I said, I'm not gonna say I didn't like the movie. There's a lot of movies that I enjoyed that I watched and I only watched one time. And I think
this is falling in that category.
This is one of those movies for me. Like I don't have a desire to watch it again. Like I said, after I watched the movie, I watched King Kong dropkick Godzilla in fucking Hong Kong. You know what I'm saying? Like both feet.
Yeah. You went to go watch some real technical fights.
Oh yeah, yeah, dropkick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Nah, I feel you on that one.
It's just. Yeah, it's a shame, man. But I mean, they got what, 3 more movies? Is it 4 total, or is it 4 more, making it 5?
Just it said that Joe Taslim has a contract with the potential for 4 more movies.
Potential.
Yeah, so you know, had this movie like completely bombed, then yeah, that would have been it. But well, from what I've seen, it hasn't bombed. No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's done well. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? That's what that kind of sucks. You know what I mean? Like, see it for yourself. See if you like it. You know what I mean? But like now in this culture, like everything is based off of Metacritic reviews and tomatoes and that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it takes away from like, hey, all these people went and saw the movie. You know what I mean? Whether they enjoyed it or not, if it cost them $55 million to make the movie, if they make $255 million, then the next one, you know, if they want to go with a different director, which I'm sure they will.
I'm absolutely certain.
You know what I'm saying? They go with a different director, we can get a better movie. You know what I mean? I'm not giving a pass for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
I'm not even mad at the director, really. I'm not even mad at the director, really. I'm more upset with the screenwriter. I'm more upset with whoever wrote this. You know what I mean? Like that's who I'm mad about. But I'll get to that. we'll get to that.
Okay.
But yeah, so the next one that I got is the first 15 minutes.
Okay.
I'm still in the pros. So the first 15 minutes. Greatness, right? Greatness. I still feel like I agree with you where I feel like the fights could have been a little bit more technical, but I would actually subscribe to the school of thought that the reason why the fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion was the way it was because of the emotional attachment. You know what I mean? The emotional rivalry between the two of them, to where technique kind of slips because you just want to kill this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like you're so enraged and the guy just killed your family. Like you're not thinking about how clean your fucking outside block is, or like, you know what I mean? Like you're not thinking about that shit. You just you want to kill this dude. You know what I mean? So it might not have been for that reason. Might not have been the cleanest of fights. So I'm willing to kind of allow that. Like you just think about it. Just think about it. If
I disagree on that one.
Yeah.
I disagree on that one. Well, do you feel that was the best fight in the movie?
Yes.
See, then I disagree with your argument then.
Well,
because I feel like there were no technical fights in the movie.
Okay.
At all.
Okay.
So I think that kind of takes away from that argument. Well, I mean, if he just ran at him in a bit of rage with the garden tool, you know what I'm saying, like, and showed that emotion, like, oh yeah, you know, he's out of his goddamn mind,
right?
You know what I mean? But you know, he was flowing against the minions.
Yeah, he was snapping on them. Yeah, he was styling on them.
He was flowing against the Lin Kuei minions, the no names and shit. I mean, all right. Well, let me say something about that.
Okay.
That first 15 minutes, right? It was a martial arts movie.
Agreed.
It looked like a martial arts movie and everything. Like when we said the set piece and everything, it looked exactly like a martial arts film. And the rest of the movie was a video game. You know what I mean? And Mortal Kombat is a video game. We understand this. We know this. We appreciate it.
Right.
But like I said, I just felt like it was portrayed as a martial arts film.
Right. Because
you know what I mean? And I think that's what kind of like slumped me down a little bit, because I thought I was going to see a martial arts movie that just had characters from Mortal Kombat. If that makes any goddamn sense, what I just said.
No. 100%. You know it makes perfect sense. I mean, you wanted a old style martial arts movie, right? Yeah. Where that's the focus, right? You know, of course you want the story and all that, you know what I mean? But you want like good fucking martial arts set pieces that are like, you know, that'll fit in one of those top 10 fights, you know, videos or whatever, you know what I mean? But just utilizing Mortal Kombat characters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which,
how much does that cost?
Why not? Like, why not?
But how much does that cost though? Because I didn't think about that. When you said the budget, I didn't think about that at all. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, if you got Joe in there, get the other dude from the raid, fuck it. Give me a Tony Jaa, give me a Scott Adkins, fuck it. Make Michael Jai White fucking Jax. Right. And let all of them cats rumble. Like, you would have had incredible fights. Yeah. But how much would that shit run? You know what I'm saying? How much it costs Stallone to make the Expendables with all them ticket names and shit?
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean?
But, you know, I don't, you know, when it comes to that, it's like, the budget, I'm pretty sure the budget had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like that's the most, you know what I mean?
But you know, the first 15 minutes was completely separate though. Like, it was its own movie, right?
I agree.
The rest of the movie just was, you know, like you said, a video game movie. So, so my next pro, Kung Lao. And the reason I say Kung Lao is because I feel like that was a really good interpretation of Kung Lao. Like, I feel like out of all the characters, like, Kung Lao was spot on. Like, just the arrogance level, because you know Kung Lao's arrogant as shit. He actually
when did Kung Lao become arrogant?
He bit what? That's Mortal Kombat.
In Mortal Kombat 11?
Nah, that's
no.
Kung Lao is Mortal Kombat's like cautionary tale of overconfidence. Like he's always been like that. Always been like that. He died because he was overconfident, because he thought he was better than what he actually was. You know what I mean? His rivalry with Liu Kang is what drives him to, you know, he's the Vegeta in the story, basically.
That's
you know
bullshit.
What I mean? But
I like Kung Lao way better than Liu Kang.
Yeah. Well,
the character.
You know what's funny?
The character.
The character. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Liu Kang's always better than him in the fucking games.
Right.
But like,
yeah, Kung Lao I feel like has a better character overall. Yeah. But I think they got him spot on, and especially with some of the moves that he did that were like fucking video game accurate. You know what I mean? Like that teleport straight up out of the game. Like the animation and everything. I don't know how they even got that like so perfectly. Like
I agree, they did him good. But I mean, that fucking hat makes anybody look cool, man. Kung Lao was one of the coolest fucking video game characters ever made.
Yeah.
When Mortal Kombat 2 came out and we saw that shit in the arcade, and I saw Kung Lao, just his wind pose and how you could barely see his face because of the hat. I was like, the coolest shit I ever fucking seen.
Kung Lao's
so
sick.
Kung Lao had to be dope.
Yeah, he's sick.
But, so he was dope.
For the first time bringing a character into a movie, you know what I mean? Like, because they didn't bring it. He wasn't in Mortal Kombat. It wasn't in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. You know what I mean? And this is basically his first like fucking live action reprepresentation. They did a really good job, because it could have gone the way of Gambit in fucking Wolverine Origins. You know what I'm saying? It could have been that level bad. You know what I mean? So they, you know, that they took care of him in his first appearance. I felt like that was great.
I agree. I'm with you on that one.
And the last one that I have for pros, like it's really a redo, because I say special effects. I thought the effects was pretty good, especially for the budget. You know what I mean?
They look good. I mean, Goro had like a Ruffalo Hulk appeal to him, like in the face.
Yeah, he did.
That was good.
I was saying the same exact shit when I was watching. I was like, yeah, they got him looking like Hulk right now.
He was hulkish. But you know what I'm saying?
He looked decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we switching over to the cons, unless you got any more pros.
You know what? Honestly, I think the biggest pro is just the fact that it was made. Let's say it's a part of culture, and they'll get different directors and different writers, and you know what I mean, if they could get a different, you know, choreograph, you know, fight stunt coordinators and all that stuff, like, I mean, it could be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
You know, it has the potential to be absolutely incredible.
This definitely, to your point, this definitely opened up the door for something so much greater, right? So I feel like the fact that it has been done, you know, opens up the door so that something better can come down the line. It also opened the studio's eyes to the fact that how big this property is. You know what I mean? Because they only gave it a $55 million budget, and I'm pretty sure that's because, nobody's done a Mortal Kombat movie in how many years? Like, the last one was complete trash. You know what I'm saying?
R-rated one, and
they let them do the R-rated.
And we're gonna release it in a pandemic and stuff. You know what I mean? Because I definitely would have saw it in the movie theater.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would have paid to go see it.
I'd have went,
you know
definitely.
I mean? But another thing too, though, and you know, we talked about this yesterday, man, was how great Captain America and the Winter Soldier was, and how dope Civil War was, and now we hear they working on a fourth one now.
Yeah.
But Captain America, the First Avenger, I feel I could fall asleep on that movie. You know what I'm saying? They got different people to come in, and you know they made better movies. So maybe Mortal Kombat, you know, will get the same outcome.
Yeah, maybe.
I enjoyed it as a one-time thing, and I probably just won't watch it again. You know what I mean?
Me with my demented self, I'll probably watch it a couple more times.
Yeah, you'll watch it. Yeah, you crazy as hell. You'll watch it.
All right, let's get into the cons, man. So my first con, Cole Young. Cole Young. Nah, son.
Now, what are we talking about with Cole Young? Are we talking about how the actor portrayed him, the character in general?
Yeah, him.
Oh, just all of that.
His existence.
All of that.
His utter existence. Listen, Cole Young, right? And listen, I get it. Cole Young was supposed to be the audience's eyes going into this brand new universe, right? So as Cole Young is experiencing and, learning this universe, that's what the audience was supposed to be doing along with him. If you take and make somebody like Liu Kang or somebody like Sonya who already know what the universe is about, then there is no kind of moments where they're learning new things or they're learning the ins and outs of the universe because they already know it. You know what I mean? Anything that they expose would be taken that way. It would be straight up exposition. Like, okay, somebody's talking to Sonya, but saying the whole plot of the movie or saying, the whole plot of Mortal Kombat, but she already knows. Like, it would just be stupid.
Gotcha.
Right? So I get that part, but I still think that it's stupid to bring in a brand new character and have that person be the lead in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's gonna be our eyes, then don't make him the main character. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a way to do that where you can have somebody be those eyes for the audience, but not let them be the focus of the movie. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't agree with the way they did it.
Well, the funny thing about you saying that is that has been done in Mortal Kombat.
Right.
They did that. Johnny Cage was completely ignorant of the Mortal Kombat shit. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. Some fucking dude just showed up with a magazine like, hey, fight in this tournament, and they'll know you real. They know you really about this shit. And he fucking goes. He just. I ain't even say that part. That was terrible where you did the Liu Kang with his luggage and shit.
Oh yeah.
But he didn't know what the fuck was going on. He thought everything was bullshit.
Right.
Until the scrap, really came down. So he was those eyes. He wasn't the main guy. Liu Kang was the main guy. Everybody knows Liu Kang is the main guy. Everybody knows this.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think that this movie drew in a bunch of people that had no fucking idea about Mortal Kombat, no clue about who Liu Kang is and stuff. Like, I've never went and saw a movie and I didn't know a fucking thing. Like a movie like this, a video game movie, a comic book movie, something like that. Like, that's rare. Like, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
Like, who walked in to see The Dark Knight and did not know who the fuck Batman was?
Or didn't know who the Joker was?
Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then you walk in here, like, you got this guy, this Cole Young guy. What? Like, who is he?
And the movie is
he's telling Liu Kang what to do
around him. He
tells Sonya what to do. He tells Jax he tells Raiden what they're gonna do. What? And all the way damn near the whole movie, we just saw him get beat up.
That's it.
He's got beat up. His introduction, he lost. He lost the fight.
That man wanted me to make the joke that it's so funny and convenient that his superpower, his arcana, is plot armor.
Oh, don't get into that.
It's plot armor.
Plot armor. That right there. That, what do they call it? They're fucking quirks. They're fucking quirks or something.
Pretty much.
Like, bro, like, that was so unnecessary.
So unnecessary.
Like I said, this is the third theatrical release of Mortal Kombat. There's been a bunch of animated movies and cartoon series and comic books and stuff. Like, I don't even know in 2021 why Liu Kang can shoot fireballs. I don't care. We don't care. When he shot Shang Tsung with the fireball in the first Mortal Kombat, we was waiting for him to do that shit. Like, we didn't care why. We were waiting for him to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? We were waiting. There wasn't a single
person in that movie theater that was like, how is he able to do that? Like, no one cares.
Didn't care. Was waiting the whole movie for him to do that and shit. Yeah. So yeah, for them to take that route, I'm like, dude, this universe, we're here, we understand. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm like, okay, well, how can Shang Tsung fucking teleport through smoke portals and shit? Like, what the fuck is that about? You know what I mean? Like,
they never once touched on him being a sorcerer or any of that. I don't know if you realize that.
You know, there's a thunder god right here, but we need to explain how this guy can shoot a fireball. But this guy here is the god of thunder. Like, it just
needed no explanation.
It gives a fuck, man. Yeah, that was so fucking weird, man.
And for Sonya to shoot her little rings, all you had to do was give her some fucking little bracelets that she got in Mortal Kombat 11. That's it. Jax,
we accept it.
Jax, his arcana was to make his arms better. The fuck? What? What if his arms were fine?
Maybe in the next movie he'll just have a complete cyborg suit. You know, he'll just completely engulf his whole body in a cyborg suit.
Like, have you thought about that? What if his arms were okay? Like, what if he still had his arms? What would his arcana be then?
He would have just gave himself robotic legs. That's all, he gave himself robotic legs. So it's that whole shit was retarded. I'm sorry. No, that didn't make any sense to me. And you know, if they wanted to go that route, the way they executed it was ridiculous. I mean, they were like, when Sonya explained how Jax got his mark, oh, we went here, we saw this, and then there was somebody who had, you know, superhuman abilities.
Yeah.
And Jax was able to take him down. Now, granted, you know what I'm saying, Jax, he ain't had no work for Sub-Zero, but in that fight, looked like anybody could have beat him.
Yeah.
Anybody could have beat him.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't do anything. I'm like, how did he beat somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I had the nerve.
He got served up easily.
Had the nerve to holler out 6 tours, motherfucker. Like,
really? Yeah.
Remember that part?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I remember when he said that. Yeah, 6 tours. Yeah.
When he said that, like, I got pumped. I was like, oh, he about to show off. All right, let me strap in. Yeah. No, nothing.
He's at Bagram Airfield the whole time in Kandahar. Stayed in the rear. The way he got served up. Yeah, it was just crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So the next con that I have is basically the lack of variety in locales. Which I'm absolutely certain that had a lot to do with the budget, but you know, that's why I had that feel like everything we saw in the trailer was the whole movie.
Yeah, it was the movie
because it was in the same locales all the way out throughout the trailer. You know what I mean? It was just it was the same thing.
That's cool. I didn't have a problem with that. That didn't bother me too much because I mean, shit, man. I watched Saw. They were in a filthy ass bathroom the whole movie. I watched the movie where this dude was in a phone booth the whole movie with a sniper on him.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, you know what I mean? So that didn't bother me. And I didn't even really notice it until like later on. They're like, yeah, you know, it's just like these like 3 spots and that's it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that didn't really bother me too much. You know what I mean? Because at least they looked good. You know what I mean? Like when we saw in the trailer, like when Sub-Zero, you know, from like the back view, he's walking down the street, and I'm like, it looks like he just made it snow, and I'm like, what the hell is that? You know, but like the setup in that scene when they like look, it's snowing, and then it's like, okay, these are like serious hail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I thought that was dope. I was like, that was dope.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was real dope. And again, that's the best part of the film, man. Just not even Sub-Zero fighting. It's just when Sub-Zero entered the scene. Yeah. Just how, you know, I mean, he you know, the whole scene was him.
Yeah.
You know, ice is on the wall, on the floor, on his body. Like the whole scene was him.
Yeah.
So that was dope.
Why
that
you
was
think
real
they like
dope.
set him up like fucking straight up final boss and shit?
Yeah, he was. They were scared of that motherfucker.
Over Goro. Sub-Zero was final boss.
Prince Goro. He's supposed to be the shit. Yeah.
Okay. That goes into another con. Just the underutilization of characters, right? Natara, Reiko, and what did you say? Goro. Completely underutilized. Completely. Like, at least Goro got speaking lines. You know what I mean? Like Natara and Reiko didn't even get lines. Like they
didn't
not
need to
even
be in the
lines.
movie. They shouldn't have been in the movie. Like Johnny Cage is not in the movie, but they are. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. That was just. I'm hoping there's some cutout scenes where they fucking they actually got to talk or do some shit other than get.
Only thing I was thinking when I saw them, I'm like, you know what? They put them in the movie so we can get. Watch they end up be DLC for Mortal Kombat 11. Watch they be in a combat pack.
I don't see Natara coming in this bitch.
I do. Well, watch they be in a combat pack.
Like you.
That's the only reason why they put them in the movie.
Think about this, especially that chick, because she's like actually like a known actress and shit. The chick that played Natara.
Okay.
Like she's actually a known actress.
All right.
You went through all the trouble of putting all that makeup on. You know what I'm saying?
For her not to say a word and just get sliced up.
Not to throw a punch. You didn't throw a punch or a kick in a Mortal Kombat movie. Just got murked out.
She shouldn't have been in the movie, man.
Nah. No reason.
That could have, and if she's a known actress, then that could have, that could have saved some in the budget, man.
Yeah. Facts.
This character didn't need to be in the movie.
Got straight murked out, right? And it's like no way for her to come back. Like, nah, son. Like maybe Melina, maybe Goro, maybe Sub-Zero, of course. Yeah, Sub-Zero. But yeah, the way
you can't.
The way she got murked, that's a wrap for her. Like that's it.
Yeah. So, she's just a throwaway character.
Yeah, but damn, like that's an expensive throwaway. I think that might have been one of them situations where she heard they were working on the movie. She's a semi-fan, thought maybe this shit would kind of blow up. Like, hey, can I be a part of it? You know what I mean? Like, I could see that happening, but just to not get any speaking roles, like, how do you not have any lines?
I don't know, man. Yeah. You know what, though? It seemed like it was plenty of that going around, man. Like,
what, people not getting speaking lines?
Even just, well, not even just like not having enough speaking lines. The lines were just bland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shang Tsung, man. He was so bland. He had no character. He had no threatening presence.
Nah, there was nothing to him.
There was nothing scary about him. I mean, like Cabal's talking in front of him like he just some clown in the fucking high school fucking basketball court or whatever. Like it was crazy. It was
Cabal
crazy.
had more character than he did.
And his shit was just over the top, man.
Who, Cabal?
Yeah, his shit was over the top. It was just ridiculous, man.
I feel it was accurate though. I feel Cabal was accurate. I feel Cabal and Kung Lao were like very accurate to their characters in the game. Like Cabal says Cabalin. Like, yeah, that's accurate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. I could have done without him. I could have done with him not having a goddamn speaking line. You know what I'm saying? For just the way he was talking. For the way he was talking.
I always say, I'm like, I love how Cabal looks in this game. And I always wanted to fucking main him, right? From the very beginning, I wanted to main Cabal. From the very beginning. But then, labbing him and hearing him say all the shit, the little dumb shit that he says, I was like, I'm not fucking with this guy.
He on that Iron Man shit, the little quirks or whatever,
like,
the little quick whips, the little one-liners and shit.
I said, can we turn this off in the settings or something? Like, this shit trash.
But you know what though? But speaking of that and all the little one-liners and stuff, that's probably, besides Sub-Zero and the presence of Sub-Zero, you know, just the fucking the shit talk of Kano was like another saving grace of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Apologies, I don't know his name either.
I can't remember the actor's name off the top, but
that actor,
you are
100%
correct.
Yeah, as far as like just some bushwhacking, spitting, you know what I'm saying, who just don't give a shit about what's going on around. Like he murdered every scene he was in. Complete soul. Like you didn't care about anybody else around. It's just when he was running his mouth, every time he opened his mouth, the shit was funny. Every time.
I can't think of a single part in the movie where he didn't say some shit that had me. And it seemed like right. Not only was he like super fucking gully thug motherfucker, you know what I mean? Like, he was just like the realistic voice, right? Like he was that voice. He was that voice where when he said shit or the shit that how he reacted to shit was like, I probably would have said something similar. Probably like not in fucking Aussie slang and shit, but I probably would have said something along those same lines. Like, you know what I mean? Like when Cole told him to fucking he was chained up and the reptilian or reptile first came in and shit, and he's like, just hang tight. He says some shit like, oh yeah, I was thinking about taking a walk, and then, you know what I mean? Like,
why he all fucked up,
I was like, I really liked Kano, and all the reviews that I watched before I saw the movie, they all said the same shit. They all said the same shit. Like Kano was a scene stealer. You know what I mean?
I mean, you have movies, plenty of movies where like there's like one person that stands out a little more than everybody else, but like he just like dominated. You know what I'm saying? Like not even close. You know what I mean? And I think the one thing about the movie is just the other characters. Like, I was almost just like didn't even give a shit about them, but it's just like I don't even know if they even have the ability. Like they didn't even give them a chance to even show if they had the ability to even keep up with that kind of shit. Like they didn't write them, you know, for anything. Like, you know, like Liu Kang. I'm like, arguably, like Liu Kang did the dopest fucking thing in the movie.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The Fire Dragon was the dopest fucking thing done in the movie.
Yep.
But Cole Young, with his ability to make a burlap suit on, he's the guy.
He's the guy. He's the one everybody's taking orders from.
He's the guy. Not the character that's the chosen one that we all know who made a flaming dragon. And you know, no, we're gonna listen to the guy with the burlap jacket on. And the fucking leather tonfas. Like what?
Yeah. My last con is Scorpion screen time. Or lack thereof. Scorpion was at the beginning of the movie. He was at the end of the movie.
That's it.
That's all we got. That's it.
That's it.
That's all we got. And
that's it.
That's disgusting.
And he kept taking his mask off when he talked and put it right back on. Like he was ashamed of his grill or something. He was in hell for too long and his grill was fucked up. He was talking and he pull it down and say something and put it back on, and then he'd take it right back off like 2 seconds later to say something else and put it back on.
Put it back on.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, to show, you know, them, you know, their fight at the beginning, and it's just like, okay, this is a Scorpion Sub-Zero story. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then just completely go away from that. You know what I mean? To, okay, this is about a Mortal Kombat tournament that they have. You know, you got to win 10, they've won 9. We don't get a tournament. You know what I mean? Okay, so it's not about the tournament. It's not about Scorpion and Sub-Zero's beef. You know, we get introduced to a character that we don't know who the fuck he is, but somehow he is a descendant of Scorpion.
Right.
You know, Scorpion had a kid that survived, you know, and I guess that this child just lived on merrily with Raiden and had kids and everything was fine. And nobody thought to take that family out until Cole Young spawns.
Right.
Okay, and then like you said, at the very end of the movie, for whatever reason, he comes back. He picks this descendant, you know what I'm saying, to haunt to come back. I'm pretty sure there was probably a slew of people who was better than him. Like,
than Cole Young.
It was like, you know what? You gonna be the one I'm gonna get my vengeance through. Like you know what I'm saying? But he picked the MMA fighter that was losing. You know what I mean? That's who he chose. You know what I mean?
Oh man, somebody made the comment like, because of, you know, the only way that people can fight and participate in the tournament is if they have the mark, right? So somebody was like, well, what if the mark was given to a fucking accountant? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And that's why I'm like, they should have just eliminated that. That was no thing, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, like, who's to say that Johnny Cage has the mark? You know, because we get that at the end of the movie, you know, you get the poster, and you called that shit. Like, yeah, they'll have a movie poster of Johnny Cage somewhere or whatever.
Yep.
So, like, he's going to go see Johnny Cage. What happens if he don't have the mark? Then he's got to kill Cole Young kill there.
Cole Young.
You got to kill him right the fuck there to take his mark.
That would be a fucking a 10 out of 10. The very fucking first 5 minutes. If Cole Young goes to Johnny, finds out he doesn't have one. Johnny asks him, well, how do you get it if you don't have it? Well, you got to kill somebody that has the mark. Oh.
And then he put his hand right through his fucking back and do the puppet shit. Do that shit.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
No. Yeah,
that's all I got, man. I don't want to beat this movie into the ground too much.
Yeah, like I said, I'm glad they made it. I'm pretty sure they'll get better. I don't give it a pass because of that. I don't, you know how I feel, and I know you feel the same way about putting out rush games just so you can patch them up later, and then we suffer through the bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm not with that at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they didn't have the budget, then cut some shit out. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need to see Natara. I didn't need to see Reiko. I didn't even need to see Jax fight him on the pit and not put him in the pit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't need this. I didn't need to see that. You know what I mean? So, like,
you're on a stage where the stage fatality is available, and you do a regular fatality.
Right. You know, my Mortal Kombat fandom, you know, deemed it necessary for me to watch this movie, but I won't watch it again.
Nothing after that.
Nah.
Yeah. Where we at with it, man? Yeah.
That's it, man.
That's what we got, man. That's our take. We are both hopeful for the future.
Yeah, I think anybody that watches us here and they watch the Mortal Kombat gameplay, if you haven't watched it, I think you should watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like, support it, help it out, so it'll get better.
It can get another chance to be great.
Yeah, because like I said, Winter Soldier was a whole lot better than Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yes.
You know, and even though Terminator was great, Terminator 2 is fucking amazing.
Yes.
It's absolutely incredible. So just...
hopefully we get another one of those situations.
Yeah. I just hope it don't take 10 years for them to make the next one. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think the studio realizes what they have. You know what I mean? They realize what they have in the IP Mortal Kombat, and will definitely invest to try to make some like real money off of it. You know what I mean? So but we'll see. We'll see what they do.
Yeah. That's cool.
Well, we're gonna get out of here, man. We really appreciate y'all kicking it with us again. Hopefully you stuck to the entirety of the video to hear everything we got. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, comment, and subscribe. Jump down in the comment section. Let us know how y'all felt about the movie, man. You know, y'all got some opinions. Go on and share it with us. We always talk back. You know what I mean? And without you, there's no two. We out of here.
Peace.